The rain hammered against the cafe window like 1,000 tiny fists. James wiped down the counter for the third time, his hands rough from weeks of manual work. The bell above the door chimed. She stumbled in, umbrella broken, rain streaming down her face. Her eyes found his, and something in his chest tightened. "Coffee black, please." Her voice was soft, worn down by something he couldn't name yet. James poured the coffee, studying her reflection in the chrome espresso machine. Dark circles under her eyes. Flower on her sleeve. A sadness that matched his own. "Rough morning?" he asked. She laughed, bitter and real. "Rough year." Over the following weeks, Grace became a regular. She owned the dyeing flower shop 3 blocks down, inherited from a mother she still grieved. James learned this in fragments between steam and conversation. One evening, as he locked up the cafe, he found her sitting on the curb outside her shop, head in her hands. The final notice taped to her door fluttered in the wind. "They're taking it," she whispered. "Everything my mother built." James sat beside her. Every instinct screamed to write a check, to fix it with money she didn't know he had. But that would shatter everything. "Let me help," he said, instead. "I'm good with numbers." Grace looked at him, really looked at him. "Why would you do that for me?" "Because I'm falling for you. Because you're the first real thing in my life. Because I'm lying to you about everything I am. Because everyone deserves a chance." She took his hand. Her fingers were calloused, strong. Nothing like the manicured hands he'd held in his previous life. "James Carter," she said, testing his fake name like wine on her tongue. "Who are you really?" His heart stopped. "Just someone trying to start over?" he managed. She held his gaze for 3 beats too long, then nodded. But he saw it in her eyes. The first seed of doubt. The flower shop smelled like earth and desperation. James spent his nights there now, reorganizing inventory, redesigning the window displays with an eye he'd honed in boardrooms. Sales crept up. Not enough to save her, but enough to give hope. Grace worked beside him, her shoulder brushing his as they wrapped stems in brown paper. The touches grew longer, more deliberate. "You're too good at this," she said one night, suspicion threading through her words. "The marketing. The strategy. Where did a cafe worker learn this?" "YouTube," he lied, hating himself. She stared at him until he looked away. 2 weeks later, Marcus Chen walked into the cafe. James's former business partner, designer suit sharp enough to cut glass. Recognition flashed across Marcus's face. Donovan. Marcus's voice carried across the small space. Time fractured. James grabbed Marcus by the elbow, steering him outside with brutal efficiency. "What the hell are you doing here?" James hissed. "Lawn deal." "Wait, why are you dressed like?" Marcus's eyes went wide. "Oh my God, is this some kind of social experiment? Are you slumming it? You don't know me. We've never met. Understand?" Marcus smirked. "Does your girlfriend know she's dating a billionaire playing dress-up?" "She's not my girlfriend, but you want her to be." Marcus lit a cigarette, studying James like a specimen. "This is pathetic, even for you. Just leave, please." Marcus flicked ash onto the sidewalk. "Your funeral, man? But when this blows up, don't say I didn't warn you." James watched him disappear into a black car. When he turned, Grace stood in the cafe doorway, her face unreadable. "Who was that?" "Nobody." "Wrong person? He called you Donovan." He was confused. Grace crossed her arms. "James, I've been patient. But you're lying to me? About something big." "Grace, I found these in your bag last week." She pulled out business cards. His real cards. James Donovan, CEO, Donovan Industries. I didn't want to believe it. I kept telling myself there was an explanation. The world tilted sideways. "Let me explain. Are you married? Running from the law? Because either way, I need the truth. Now." James's mouth opened, closed. The lie he'd prepared for weeks sat on his tongue, ready. "I'm running from something. My past. I made mistakes, and I came here to start over. It's partial truth. Still a lie." Grace's eyes glistened. "That's all you're going to give me?" For now, please. She stepped back, creating distance that felt like miles. I don't know if I can do this. Trust someone who won't trust me back. Give me time. Time. Her voice broke. I've given you everything, James. Or Carter. Or whoever you are. She walked away. The bell above the door chimed like a funeral toll. 3 days of silence. 3 days of Grace avoiding his calls, crossing the street when she saw him coming. James stood outside her apartment at midnight, rain soaking through his jacket. Grace, please. Open the door. The lock clicked. She appeared, eyes red-rimmed. You shouldn't be here. I can't lose you. You never had me. Not really. She tried to close the door. He caught it. What if I told you everything? Right now. All of it. She hesitated. That hesitation was his opening. They sat on her worn couch, and James began to talk. About the money. The empire. The loneliness that ate him alive in penthouses overlooking Central Park. About wanting to know if someone could love him without the zeros in his bank account. So you lied, Grace said flatly when he finished. You pretended to be poor to test me like some kind of experiment. No, not like that. Exactly like that. She stood, pacing. Do you know what it's like to struggle? Real struggle? To choose between rent and food? To watch your mother die because you couldn't afford better treatment? The words hit like bullets. I wanted to help with your fake charity. Your billionaire savior complex. Grace's voice rose. You didn't trust me enough to be honest. Instead, you played a role. Made me fall for someone who doesn't even exist. James Carter is me. The real me. No, James Carter is a lie you wore like a costume. Tears streaked her face. And the worst part? I fell for it. For you, and I hate myself for it. James reached for her. She flinched back. Get out, Grace. Get out. Outside, the rain had stopped, but he barely noticed. At his rental house, a message waited on his phone. Unknown number. A video attachment. James pressed play. His blood turned to ice. Marcus Chen's face filled the screen. Hey, Donovan. Thought you'd want to know. I had drinks with a journalist friend tonight. Told her about this fascinating story. Billionaire goes undercover to find true love. She's running it tomorrow. Front page. The video ended. James called Marcus. Straight to voicemail. Panic clawed at his throat. If the story broke, Grace would find out from strangers. Headlines, mockery, she'd never forgive him. He had 12 hours before his world exploded. There was only one choice. He grabbed his keys and drove to Marcus's hotel. The lobby was marble and gold, a mockery of the simple life he'd been living. The penthouse door opened. Marcus stood there, drink in hand, smug smile in place. Come to beg. Name your price. Kill the story. Marcus laughed. It's not about money, old friend. It's about the fact that you disappeared for months. It's left the company scrambling, and now I find you playing house with some nobody. She's using you. They all do. You just can't see it because you're desperate. You're wrong. Marcus shrugged. Story runs at 6 a.m. Unless what? Come back. Real life. Real you. Drop this fantasy, and I'll make one call. James stood at the edge of everything. His disguise, his chance with Grace, the person he'd been becoming. Okay, he whispered. I'll come back. Marcus raised his glass. Welcome home, Donovan. But as James turned to leave, he saw it. Marcus's phone on the table, screen glowing. An email draft to the journalist. Kill the story. He took the bait. This wasn't about business. It was about control. And James had just sacrificed everything for a lie. James didn't sleep. At 5 a.m., he knocked on Grace's door again. She opened it, furious. James, I said there's going to be a story about me in the news. I need you to hear it from me first. Grace's face hardened. More lies? No, the truth. All of it. He told her about Marcus. About the betrayal, the deal he'd made. About giving up everything to protect her from the media's storm. So you're leaving? Grace said quietly. If I don't go back, he'll destroy you too. Your shop, your reputation. He'll make you part of the story, paint you as someone who let him. James stared. What? Let him write the story. I don't care. Grace stepped closer. Do you know what I've realized these past 3 days? I don't care if you're rich. I care that you lied. But I also care about who you were with me. The man who stayed up until 3 a.m., reorganizing flowers, who learned the name of every customer, who held me when I cried about my mother. That man was a lie. Was he? Her eyes searched his. Or was he the person you actually are under all the money and power? Grace, you don't understand. Marcus Will is a bully, and you're going to let him win. She grabbed his face, forcing him to meet her gaze. Stay, fight, be the man I fell for, not the one you're pretending you need to be. James's phone buzzed. Marcus, car's waiting. Don't make me come get you. I have to go. It's the only way, it's the coward's way. Grace released him, stepping back. You talk about finding real love, but you won't fight for it when it's right in front of you. I'm fighting for you, no. You're running again, just like you ran from your real life to play pretend here. The words cut deeper than anything Marcus had said. James's phone rang. He answered. Donovan. Marcus's voice oozed satisfaction. Time's up. Are you coming, or do I release the story and add a few creative details about your little girlfriend? Something inside James snapped. Do it. Release the story. Every word. Silence. What? You heard me? I'm not coming back. I'm not playing your games anymore. You're bluffing. Try me. James hung up. His hands shook. Grace watched him, hope and fear warring on her face. What did you just do? Something I should have done the day I met you. Chose the truth. He took her hands. I can't control what Marcus does. The story might run. Your life might get complicated because of me, but I'm done hiding from him. From you. From myself. Grace's fingers tightened on his. You're sure? Terrified. But yes. They stood there as dawn broke through the windows, two broken people choosing each other despite the chaos. James's phone exploded with notifications. The story was live. Billionaire's secret romance. James Donovan found hiding in small town, but there was more. Photos of James and Grace. Details about her struggling business. And worse, a quote from someone anonymous. She knew who he was the whole time. Classic gold digger move. Grace's face went white reading her own phone. James there saying I ignore it. People are showing up at my shop. There are photographers outside. They looked out the window. 3 news vans parked on the street. Reporters setting up cameras. I'm so sorry, James whispered. Grace's phone rang. Her lawyer, she answered, face draining of color as she listened. What? She breathed. When? She hung up slowly. Looked at James with something new in her eyes. Something cold. My landlord just evicted me. The building owner, too. Both properties bought yesterday by Donovan Industries. Her voice cracked. By you, James froze. What? No, I didn't. Don't lie to me. Not now. Grace, I swear I didn't authorize then. Who did? The answer hit him like a freight train. Marcus. Marcus had access to company accounts. Emergency powers James had forgotten to revoke. He's setting me up, James said. Marcus is making it look like I'm forcing you out, manipulating you, are you? Grace backed away. Is this whole thing another game? Make me dependent on you, then swoop in to save me? No, Grace, please get out. Listen to me, I said. Get out. James left, the door slamming behind him like a gunshot. Outside, reporters swarmed him. Cameras flashed. Questions shouted. He pushed through them, mind racing. Marcus had one. Destroyed everything in one calculated move. Unless James destroyed him first. James drove through the night, back to New York. The city looked different now. It's cold and sharp where it had once felt like home. He walked into Donovan Industries at dawn. Employees stared, whispered he didn't care. Marcus sat in James's old office, feet on the desk. Took you long enough, Marcus said. James closed the door. Why? Why? What? Why did I save you from making the biggest mistake of your life? Why did you buy her buildings? Destroy her? Marcus stood, straightening his tie. Because you needed to see the truth. She's just like all the others. The moment things got hard, she turned on you. You made things hard. You manipulated everything. I showed her who you really are, a man with power, and she couldn't handle it. Marcus smiled. I did you a favor. James pulled out his phone, pressed play on a recording. Marcus's voice filled the room. I'll release the story and add a few creative details about your little girlfriend. Marcus's smile faltered. I've been recording our conversation since yesterday, James said quietly, including the part where you admit to using company funds for personal vendettas. Buying those properties without board approval? Fraud, Marcus? Federal crime? You wouldn't. Try me. They stood in silence, two men who'd once been friends now on opposite sides of a chasm. What do you want? Marcus finally asked. Everything you took from her? The buildings? A public apology? And your resignation? Or I press charges. You lose everything. Marcus's jaw clenched. She'll never forgive you anyway. You know that, right? Still lied to her for months. I know, so why are you doing this? Because it's right. Because she deserves better than what we both did to her. James moved to the door. You have until noon to transfer the properties back. After that, I'm calling the FBI. He left Marcus standing there, power finally stripped away. 3 weeks later, James stood outside the flower shop. The eviction notice was gone. Business was steady. Through the window, he could see Grace helping a customer. Laughing at something they said, she looked free. He turned to leave. James. He stopped. Grace stood in the doorway, arms crossed. I got your letter, she said. And the properties. And the statement from your lawyer explaining everything Marcus did. I didn't write for forgiveness, I know. She stepped closer. But I'm giving it anyway. Partially? Partially? You still lied? For months. And it doesn't just disappear because you made some grand gesture. Grace's eyes held his. But I also lied. I knew something was off about you from the beginning. I could have pushed harder, walked away sooner. But I didn't want to. Why? Because I was lonely and scared. And you made me feel less alone. She smiled sadly. We're both broken, James. The question is, can broken people fix each other, or do they just cut each other worse? James took a breath. I don't know, but I'd like to find out. The real way. No lies, no games, just us. Grace studied him for a long moment. Then she pulled out her phone, typed something, and showed him the screen. A message to him. Coffee tomorrow? Somewhere we've never been? Start over properly this time. I haven't sent it yet, she said, because I need to know you're ready for the real me. The one who's messy and damaged and doesn't trust easily. I am, if you're ready for the real me. It's the one who's still figuring out who that even is. Grace pressed send. The message appeared on James's phone with a soft chime. Tomorrow then, she said. Tomorrow. She went back inside. James walked away, the late afternoon sun warming his face. Behind him, the city hummed with life. Ahead, possibility stretched like an open road. He'd lost everything once to find himself. Now he'd lost himself to find something better. Imperfect, uncertain, real, for the first time in years. James Donovan smiled and meant it. The end.